for watching The Warmup, presented by your local North Texas GEICO agents. Boy, do we have some tasty matchups this week. Time to get warmed up for another week of hoops action. With Grand Prairie upsetting South Grand Prairie last Saturday, they have proven to be a real threat in 7-6A. As we preview Friday night action, we start with the Gophers and their huge home game with Waxahachie. At the start of the season, no one could have predicted that Grand Prairie would be challenging for a district championship. But here we are. The Gophers are ranked 13th and have been ignited by the play of Jalen Posey. However, the Indians have been running and gunning for a while, now behind head coach Greg Gober. Waxahachie is 3-0 in district starting this week and have beaten their 7-6A foes by 17 points or more. North Crowley is doing what they do, and that's winning district games. Friday, they host Arlington Lamar, who is currently right behind them. Coach Tommy Brackle just keeps reloading at North Crowley, and they look to be the team to beat. Interesting storyline out of Irving as MacArthur star Sarah Andrews is expected to return Friday night. And that's a good thing for the Lady Cardinals because they face division foe Flower Mound in a crucial 6-6A battle. Last week, we saw an MVP-type performance from Colleyville Heritage's Baylor Head. Here's who we think might play their way into a bobblehead this week. We mentioned her a little earlier, but look for Sarah Andrews on Friday to possibly be bobblehead worthy. Andrews may be looking to show the public what they've been missing since she's been hurt and why the Baylor Bears are so eager for her to get to Waco. TCU-bound Mike Miles could have a good game. He's a slasher and a highlight ready to happen as his Lancaster Tigers take on Mesquite Poteet on Tuesday. Waxahachie's CJ Nolan could do some things this Friday against Grand Prairie. The Indians have a very balanced offensive attack, but Nolan has been very consistent in their go-to guy. This week on Wingstop Inside High School Sports, we take 2 looks back. First, in our Inside Story, we revisit one of the best dunkers ever in DFW, Chris Owens. He was a highlight film every time he hit the court, and now he's at Bishop Dunn as their head coach. Also, in our flashback, we take a look back at how a tall, lanky kid named LaMarcus Aldridge from Seagoville morphed himself into a 14-year NBA vet. Now it's time to take a look at our top 5 rankings. On the boys' side, Duncanville continues to coast through district play, but next week, Richardson will be waiting for them. Lancaster is at number 2, as they have a team that looks to be San Antonio bound. Coming in at 3 is Waxahachie, and another huge performance by St. Mark's puts them at number 4, while John Paul II remains at 5. The Duncanville girls start the week 23-3 and will remain at 1. As of now, DeSoto is still number 2, but they took a big hit with the loss of sophomore big Samaya Smith. South Grand Prairie jumps Argyle for number 3 due to a couple of big wins last week, but the Lady Eagles are still at number 4. Cedar Hill rounds out the top 5. Now it's time for the extra point. Another huge honor for Byron Nelson's Paige Flickinger, as she's been named an Under Armour All-American and the Gatorade Texas Player of the Year. She has been named the Gatorade Texas Player of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. The only other player to do so is her coach, Brianna Goff. 24 players from Texas will be playing in conference championships this weekend in the NFL, and 5 of them are from the Metroplex. They are Capel defensive end Solomon Thomas, Martin's Lane Taylor, Lake Dallas alumni Josh Jackson, and Rowlett's DeMontre Moore and Marquise Goodwin. That's all we have for this week's episode. To stay up to date with all things inside high school sports, follow our social accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That'll get you ready for the highlight of the sports weekend. Wingstop Inside High School Sports, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on NBC5, hosted by Pat Doney. Thank you for watching The Warmup, presented by your local North Texas GEICO agents. To find the office nearest you, go to geico.com/DFW. I'm Ashley Bullington, and I hope you've gotten warmed up for all of the basketball action.